Joel Klatt's big board has Justin Fields as the third best prospect in the upcoming NFL draft, which starts this week. And as you can see, Klatt has a handful of Big Ten names he thinks will be called on the first round. Also names like Rondale Moore, which will be called in the second round. Moore, the Purdue star, had a chat with Dave Revson this weekend.
Rondale, inside a week until the draft now. At this point in the process, what's going on? Are you still in touch with teams and talking to teams, or is that part of it behind you?
Yeah, I mean, up to this point, I've continued to speak with teams every single day, whether that be two, three teams or just one. But I mean, as far as what I know, I don't know anything more than what I knew a month ago. And it's pretty crazy, but it's exciting.
Is there a particular team that speaks to you more than other teams?
I mean, up to this point, I've talked to a few teams, 3 times or so, but like I said, man, it's hard to gauge, I guess, what they're thinking. And for me, it all sounds the same.
How would you describe your emotions at this point in the process?
I'd say I'm a little antsy about it simply because I don't know, where I'm going or anything like that. But I'm excited nonetheless for me, for my family, and I think it'll be a good time.
When you have these conversations with teams, how much of it is them telling you about the franchise and how much of it is selling yourself? Give us a sense of what these conversations are like.
Yeah, a lot of the conversations just stem from them asking me about my background, about my family, what I enjoy doing outside of football, that kind of stuff. Just, trying to get a feel for me. And then we'll get into some install and then I'll talk about my offense and I guess just my knowledge of the game. We'll go over coverages and things of that sort. But that's pretty much the basis of, every single call.
So who's typically on a call like that from the other side?
Yeah, it just depends. I've had meetings with teams where it's just been a scout, and I've had meetings with teams where it's been the whole staff. It's been a GM on the call. There's a head coach. There's an offense coordinator. There's a receiver coach. So it just varies with every team, honestly.
How do you sell yourself?
The questions are, pretty specific. They don't just give me the floor. But when they do, I just kind of mention everything that I put on film and, what I'm able to do. So that's kind of how I sell myself. To be specific, I just say I'm dynamic. The ability to play inside, outside, return punts, kicks, so whatever is asked of me, I, let them know that I can do it and, I put it on film. So
what have teams said about how they plan to utilize you?
The exact same way I've been utilized in college. I don't think I'm limited to a slot role. I'm able to go outside and run routes and win at a high level. And I think obviously in the return game is vital as well.
What do you say when they ask you about the injury issues? Because I'm sure that comes up.
Yeah, it's really a lot more simple than it seems looking from the, outside in. And obviously I've got MRIs and x-rays or whatever they want, at hand to show them. But I had 2 grade 1 hamstrings and I kind of let them know, like, I don't have hamstring problems. This just happened to be a thing in the last 2 years. And 19, I think, was a freak thing. And then 20, I think, was my actual first hamstring, I guess, strain, if you will. But, prior to, I've never had hamstring problems. To this date, I think I'm one of the strongest receivers in the draft and, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it really alters the way they think of me as a player.
What do you say when they question your size?
Oh, they really don't. I can run, and that's kind of where I guess put the arrow. I don't really get too concerned about that kind of stuff. For me, it's just more so, can I play ball or can I not? And I think that's the main thing we're talking about.
What are you proudest of your time at Purdue?
Graduating college, for sure.
What about on the football field?
The upset over Ohio State in 2018 is probably one of the proudest moments of, and highlights of my career.
You mentioned graduating. What's your degree in?
Selling and sales management, and I had a certificate in entrepreneurship and innovation.
So what do you envision once your football career is over? What would you want to do with that?
Crazy enough, I want to get into real estate, commercial specifically, but did have a chance to intern and work half with a sales team and half with a marketing team. So did get a little experience in that field.
How do you plan to spend draft day, Rondale?
And I'll be at a venue of actually with some close friends and family, and we'll whether I go day one or, I go day two or whatever day I go. It'll be a celebration. I'll be excited and, I'll be happy to be surrounded by everyone.
You got an outfit picked out?
As of now, I do not, but I do have intentions of wearing a suit and tie.
All right. But you haven't put a whole lot of thought into it.
Right.
All right. Fair enough. Well, look, it has been an absolute pleasure watching you play. I wish we would have gotten to see you play more in the Big Ten, but really looking forward to seeing what happens to you professionally. Best of luck, and thanks for taking the time to spend a few minutes with us here.
Yes, sir. No doubt. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.